Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to an extra show. It's the John Gaunt show. And the question today, Donald Trump has blasted Starmer again. He says that Keir Starmer is a loser with no future. I'm glad to see the president of the free world agrees with me, but do you agree with him? And indeed myself, Starmer has now blown it completely. Your opinion counts, because this is a big debate. It's a Sunday afternoon. Don't hold back. Say exactly what you feel. Because I'm asking, is Keir Starmer really, and I quote, a loser who has no future after the explosive criticism from the President of the United States, Donald Trump? So it's a live UK political debate. You can say whatever you fancy, keep it legal, on this subject, on Starmer's leadership, the tensions involving Iran. Where's that going? Are you in favour of what's happened so far, or are you against it? You might want to talk about the fact we're sending our boats too late. You might think, no, Starmer's showing good caution. But also the growing domestic political row in Britain. So it's Keir Starmer, Donald Trump, UK politics, Iran, and we're debating it all now live and uncensored. If you've got a view, I want to hear it. So let me know. And also it ties into, of course, what's going to happen tomorrow, Monday. The Labour government is going to unveil plans for an anti-Muslim hostility czar as part of a wider strategy to strengthen, it's really going to do this, isn't it? Strengthen social cohesion alongside the introduction of a new definition of Islamophobia, which we need like a pork pie at a bar mitzvah, like we need that like a hole in the head. There is no need for a definition of Islamophobia. There is no need for a blasphemy law by the back door. And I ask you a question. Is part of the hesitancy of our glorious leader, Keir Starmer, is it what Trump alleges, that he's scared of upsetting the Muslim, so-called Muslim bloc vote? It's clear that the coppers in Manchester are frit, as Mrs. Thatcher would say. If you saw those Islamists on horses over the last couple of days, running up and down the high street as if they were in control of Manchester. No, they are not. We want to live in an integrated society, don't we? Where everybody is treated the same. We do not want two-tier justice, two-tier policing, two-tier religion, where a certain religion, which is practiced by a minority of people at the moment in the country, has precedence over the rest of us. Your views. This was leaked to the Spectator magazine. It's going to be all over your papers tomorrow, let me tell you. But they want a new definition of Islamophobia, and they want an anti-Islamophobic, czar, a Muslim czar, anti-Muslim hostility czar. Do we need that? No, I think what that'll do, it'll have a chilling effect. It'll affect free speech. It will treat Muslims again with kid gloves. We will be the enemy, those of us who aren't Muslim, again, in our own country. How can that be right? Or am I a raving fascist for saying that? I'm expecting to get shot down. Watch the news this morning with Laura Kunsberg doing interviews. The BBC were almost doing the propaganda service for Iran and the regime. They even interviewed the Iranian ambassador, who wouldn't apologise for the mass murder of many of his citizens. And I see the usual liberal lefties with their placards that always look exactly the same. They were out on the streets of London yesterday saying that Starmer's got blood on his hands. Well, he hasn't, because he hasn't got involved. I'd like him to get involved. And the idea that Trump is the baddie in all of this, it's just frankly ludicrous. If you came down from Mars today, switched on the telly, you'd think we, those of us on the right, were in the wrong. A regime that kills its own people, hangs them from cranes. I'll give Laura Kunsberg a due. She did press a little bit on that. But the bottom line is, we need to get rid of the mad mullahs of Iran. And they keep going on about, what's the plan? What's the plan? The plan's bloody obvious. Take them out, which is what Trump's doing. He's the only leader with the balls to do it. But the whole of establishment, the whole cultural Marxist warriors are up in arms about it. And because they dominate the media, you've got a position now where they're telling us the majority of us are against the whatever you want to call it, the war, the attack by Trump. I'm 100% in favor of it. 100%. What about you? Let's have that discussion today, because we can't sit back. They've already attacked us. 20 attacks, terrorist attacks linked to the Iranian regime, Hezbollah, Hamas, the rest of them. They fund it. We need to wipe them off the face of the earth. And yes, innocent individuals will die. 30,000 innocent individuals who dared to protest in Iran, who didn't want to wear the full mufti, they've already been killed and left to rot on the streets of Tehran. You're supporting that. And then this morning on that programme, Laura Kunsberg, the MP for the Fossil Road in Coventry and indeed Gaza, and no doubt now Tehran and the Iranian regime, Zara Sultana, I don't know, Zara Sultana, Zara Fruit and Nutcase, I would call her. She's on there on the panel. And then that Christine woman from CNN, she's been discredited. An American. Ludicrous. What is wrong with the BBC? I'll give them their due. They did have Penny Mordaunt on and she made some sense. But the whole thing was biased. Trump was the baddie again. And I'll tell you what, they can try and cover this up as much as they want. Starmer has betrayed British people. He's betrayed part of our sovereign state, which is Cyprus. He's left them completely open to attack. That bloody boat, the frigate, is still in the frigate harbour in Portsmouth. Now he says, I'm going to send one of our, I think it's our only one, isn't it? There's two, our aircraft carriers. Trump says, don't bother. We don't need people who want to help us after the war is won. And then because he makes that one quote, what the BBC do and the mainstream media, they pick that one quote and then they basically say, he's saying the war's won. He's not saying it in a literal sense. It's a metaphor. They can't beat us. We're going to beat them. And then there's the criticism of Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage has gone to Florida, and if you read Twitter today, or X, the lefties on there are saying he's a traitor to our country. He's gone to speak to Trump. Isn't that what our Prime Minister should be doing? No, our Prime Minister did this to Donald Trump. Can I use your air bases, including the Shagas, which I'm helping you keep or get rid of, whichever you want to do, Keir? No, you can't. Oh, okay, then. Our super-duper bombers will have to fly for 37 hours to bomb Iran. So Trump says it's over. There is no special relationship. And I don't blame him. Starmer has got us in a position where the only friends we've got now are the coalition of the fucking useless. And what have they achieved? Nothing. And to add insult to injury, it's the French who are helping out our troops in Cyprus. The French. I understand the Italians are now sending some ships which will get there before us. This is Britain. This is Great Britain. This man has turned us into the laughingstock of the world. And then on top of that, on Monday, mark my words, he's going to launch this anti-Islamophobia nonsense. What about something about protection of the Jews? Is that possible, Mr. Starmer? Do they come into your worldview? What about the protection or the promotion of white working class males who are the most deprived section of our society? Why do you want everything to be for the feral, the feckless, the freeloaders and the flaming foreigners? Why aren't you on top of the flip-flop warriors at Dover? Because you don't want to be. That's the answer. You haven't got the political will, and neither did the idiots before you. And if you ever want to know what is wrong with Britain, watch the BBC when they discuss politics, because they all sing from the same hymn sheet. It's as if they almost want Donald Trump to lose the war, to have to fail. And if he fails, and then there's terrorist attacks, what will they be saying then? We are at war. Let's stop messing about. And Keir Starmer with, we can only use our bombers and our fighter jets if they're defending. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Bomb the crap out of that regime, not the people, the regime. Or do we let them still keep hitting Dubai? Do those people there deserve it? I suppose that maybe they do, because the people who went to Dubai are mostly white, working class, extremely successful. That's what they hate in Westminster. So let me say something which most of the politicians in Westminster are terrified to admit. There's a growing feeling across this country that the political class simply don't get it anymore. And right now, Starmer's the man in the hot seat. Along comes Donald Trump, throwing a political hand grenade, calling a British Prime Minister a loser who has no future. Well, I agree with him. Do you? The Westminster bubble and the mainstream, lamestream media has reacted as if Donald Trump has called, which in a way he has, Starmer a see you next Tuesday. They have an unspeakable outrage about it. But if you just step outside that bubble, stop watching the BBC for a moment, and you'll hear something very different. Because people are asking, why does our leadership look so weak, so uncertain, at a time when the world is getting much more dangerous? Look at the global situation. Massive tension rising in the Middle East involving Iran. Major instability across regions that directly affect the United Kingdom. We could talk, for example, about Ukraine. This is when voters demand, not just expect, demand strength and clarity from our Prime Minister. Instead, what do we get? Hesitation, dithering, caution, international law, political, woke, gesturing, and endless careful measuring. Have you noticed how all the Labour politicians speak in clipped sentences just so they cannot be misquoted? It's a disgrace. And then meanwhile, tomorrow, Monday, we've got another major row brewing. The plan for a new government advisor, and it's going to be, well, it'll be he, won't it? Focused on anti-Muslim hatred. Now, of course, hatred against anybody for their religion or their race, the colour of their skin, is wrong. It's wrong, completely wrong, and should always be challenged. But the political argument people like me are making is this. Is the government dealing with the real problems that people are worried about, or just announcing another official and hoping the row goes away? Is this the same bullshit that makes them say things like the biggest threat to community cohesion is the rise of the far right, the mythical far right, and that anybody who dares say, no, it's not, it's Islamist thugs and Islamist hooligans that are the problem. People running down streets in Manchester on horses. Or could I dare say it may be the rape gangs? No, if we say that, we're waiteth. Well, I'll tell you something, the frustration is real and it's growing and the tension is. So the real question tonight isn't just about this one insult from Donald Trump, which I thought was brilliant. But of course, the mainstream, lamestream want you to believe that's what it's about. The real question is this. Does Keir Starmer look like a prime minister, I can't even say it without laughing, who is confidently leading this country? Or does he look like a leader who is increasingly struggling to convince voters, even his own cabinet, that he's in control of events? Do his arse cheeks ever stop clanging? And now, whether you agree or disagree, have your say now. Get involved in the chat, and we'll have a humdinger of a program where all views will be held. This is heard. This is the John Gaunt Show. Want to join in? Write your comment up, and if you like what I'm talking about, please press the like button. I'm not going to be here too long today. I'm off out for my final birthday treat today with my daughter. But if you want to donate, feel free. Click on the $ next to the comments. Donate anything or only what you can afford. Or alternatively, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. It's as simple as that. And I'm in a brilliant mood because the mighty Sky Blues were on fire yesterday. 10 matches to go. 10 matches to go till we go to the so-called promised land. I'm not so sure about that, of the Premier League, but that's coming as well. So loads to talk about. Let's get going. Oh, type yes in the chat if you believe Trump's right. No if you believe Starmer needs a bit more time and it's basically unfair, this criticism. Yeah, you've got it. Kevin Baxter says he'll be gone by the 11th of May, between the 11th and 15th of May after the local elections. But waiting is Cyprus NATO clown Lammy. Yeah, he said that they were in NATO and they're not. You're right, but we can't afford to wait till May, the end of May, the middle of May. There'll be no country left to defend. Can't you see what he's doing? He's dismantling us at home and he's making us a laughing stock on the world stage. And he's putting our troops in peril in places like Cyprus. But, yeah, whatever you view. I suppose we've all got to get used to living next door to Ali. Yeah, very funny, Ian Passy. Nice one. Or law, says George O'Grady. I don't even know what that means. George, that might have made sense to you. You've got to write more than 2 words so we understand what you're on about. Islam is an effing phobia. Is Starmer's only tool, John? Mad Labour. Den Spinks. Den, I'm sure it made sense when you wrote it. Doesn't make sense now. Rewrite it so I can understand what you mean. Leanne Tail, 7251 on YouTube. Only a matter of time before all pork and alcohol products will be banned and Friday prayers will be made mandatory by law. We all need to wake up for F's sake, says Leanne. Thank you very much indeed. Let's see what other people make of that. 2 side off it, says George O'Grady. Well, that makes no sense either. 2 side off what? God, some people are thick. Where are we going? Pamela Millett. Islamic men have already said some years ago, London belongs to them. Yes, some said that. Doesn't mean that they all think that, of course. So I'm not surprised, John. It's frightening what's happening. The way things are going with votes, I don't think Reform will even win the next election. That's an interesting point. That is an interesting point. Let's move now to T1000. Words haven't even been invented for the absolute hate for Labour. Sorry, hate is a strong word, but it's at that point now. Appreciate the updates, Mr. Gaunt. Thank you, T1000. I just don't understand why people are against what Trump's done. And then they go, oh, that's the other one they go, international law. Do you think the Iranians have been worried about international law for the last 20 or 30 or 40 years as they slaughtered their people in the streets, pushed homosexuals off the top of buildings, hung people by cranes in public, and then killed 30,000 protesters who said, look, we just want democracy and we want to be able to take our burqa lids off? No, they killed them in the streets. That's what they did. Life isn't very nice. Life is a bit unpleasant, Keir, who's unclear, right? Keir, not everybody knows about human rights. And do you know what Keir's another one? Not everyone believes in them. So we do have some horrid people, Keir, who we have to teach. And then you say to Donald Trump, you can't use our airfields. And then you say, well, okay, you can. But only if I say who you can kill with them, or well, you can bomb with them. Who the hell do you think you are? And is it true? The BBC said, was it the BBC? Or maybe I read it in a paper afterwards. 70% of people are against what Trump's doing. Or they've got upset that Trump is bullying Starmer. Get a life. Get a life. And get out of mine. Den Spink says, I'm definitely with you, John. Thank you. Ian Passy on YouTube says, funny how all the right-wing folk who don't like the Muslim community in the UK like to fly off to the Arab world on their holidays. Well, that's a childish, stupid thing to say, isn't it? Most people don't fly away on their holidays. They go in this country. If they do go, they go to Spain. Last time I looked, there are Muslims in Spain, but it's not a Muslim community. And what's the other thing? And all right-wing folk don't like the Muslim community. I ain't got a problem with the Muslim community. I've got a problem with Islamists who want to kill us, who want to rape our daughters, who want to change our very way of life. Ian, get your head out of your arse and actually look at what the problem is. It isn't. I'm not on an anti-Muslim rant. Far from it. I think it's a ridiculous religion, like all religions, because I'm not religious. But you know what? I can put up with people having a religion if they want one. I wouldn't show them any more respect just because they're an imam or the Archbishop of Canterbury. Well, how could you? She's now a woman, and the one before her was excusing paedophiles left, right, and centre. Just like I can't respect the BBC, even though I worked there for years as a freelancer. I can't respect them. They're all pedo protectors. That's what the BBC is. Look at it. It's clear. They have an agenda that has got nothing to do with my agenda. Doesn't mean I can't watch some of their programmes and think, oh, that's bloody brilliant. See what I'm saying, Ian? Try and maintain the dialectic if you can. Try and be a bit more intelligent than you clearly are. Look forward to hearing from you again. David KT, the Prince of Wales, is being delayed as they load Christmas trees when they get there. What are you on about? The Prince of Wales? Do you mean the King? I haven't got a clue what you're on about there. Being delayed, loading Christmas. What are you on about? I'm sure it made sense when you wrote it. Jackie Ward, I'm getting angry listening to the plans the government have. I feel it's prejudice against anyone who isn't Muslim. Jackie, I'm more or less in your camp on that one. Who on earth thinks we need an Islamophobia czar? No. But it isn't number one priority, is it? I would say when Jewish people are being killed in a synagogue, when Jews are being refused to go to football matches because of woke, cultural Marxist chief constables, I'd be addressing that issue first. Wouldn't you? Rather than saying, we need somebody because the Muslims need protecting. Where is all this attacks on Muslims? The organisation that said there was, do you remember, they got discredited. Why do some people in our establishment hate white working class people? Just tell me. I'm fascinated to know. So Jackie finishes saying, who on earth thinks we need this czar? If only Trump was our PM. Oh, I'm not going to disagree with you there. And this attack on Nigel Farage for going to see Trump, how childish is that? If Farage can pull something off, good luck to him. Starmer, rather than trying to upset Trump, which you cannot win, you cannot beat him. You've lost already. You look pathetic. I heard that the Epstein people sold human meat to McDonald's for their hamburgers. Is that true? Says Imbrit Holmberg. I doubt it, but there have been accusations that some people were sacrificed. I understand that, but I think basically that's bollocks. All right. Denspink, Starmer is in the Guinness Book of Records. U-turner John. Oh, for U-turning. Yes, I understand, Den. You needed this show. I'm loving this. Thank you, John. Who needed this show? I needed it. I need to get this off my chest before I go to Birmingham. Good afternoon, John. Definitely, yes, I'm with you. It couldn't be any worse than having a useless and clueless Prime Minister that is Starmer at this time. So far, nobody has donated. Why do I bother doing an extra show on a Sunday if you're not going to play ball? Come on. Lisa just says hello. Well, hello, Lisa. Thank you. David KT. The MOD has just sent HMS Victory and have announced they're recommissioning the Mary Rose. I wouldn't put it past them. Thank you very much indeed. Lisa says, yes, this is the answer to my question at the top of the chat, of course. Lena Taylor says the same. Barry Torrance says the same. Ray Brownlow, looking at the picture behind me. If you're listening on the podcast, you won't get this. But I've got a picture of Donald Trump behind me, looking very angry. And it says, is that Trump or Derek Acora? Derek Akora will be needed by Starmer soon so that he can speak to his dead party, because they are finished. Labour are just finished completely. Hi, John. I hope you and your family are well. I'm sorry I haven't been watching. I've been trying to contact my girlfriend because she's in Dubai with our younger kids and her mother. You can surely find time in between doing that. But anyway, fair enough. I can remember when the working class went to Blackpool or Barmouth for their holidays, and the rich folks Devon or Cornwall. So can I, Alan Passy. That's what we used to do, isn't it? But I've got nothing against people who want to go to Dubai on holiday. I've been there a few times. I don't particularly like it myself. My wife hates it. But, I'll go. If somebody offered me a holiday there, I'd go tomorrow. Because from what I'm being told by all my mates, there's nothing to worry about. And he'll have it wrapped up very soon, won't he, Trump? Without our help. That's the other thing as well. Starmer doesn't seem to understand how that's diminished us in the eyes of the world. We've only got one boat and we can't even get that to sea. If you're ex-Royal Navy or ex-Forces, it must really hurt. Anyway, you're listening to the John Gaunt Show. This is an extra one. Don't forget, it's on podcast. It's on video as well. If you want to listen to it on a podcast, best place to get it, Apple or somewhere like that, or Spotify. But you can also get it on YouTube. And if you join JonGauntTV, which is my YouTube channel, you get access to all of the podcasts, the videos, everything is there, all in one place. And you get notified when I'm doing extra shows. When you first go, a pop-up will come up saying, do you want to subscribe? Say yes. It doesn't mean you got to pay any money. It's free to subscribe. Once you have subscribed, if you'd like to donate some money, just press the $ next to the comments on the YouTube video and donate what you can afford. At the moment, this is mostly funded through those donations and through a trickle of money we get on advertising. As the audience grows, we'll get more and more, so we'll rely less on your donations. But I want to thank everybody who has donated, because without that, we wouldn't still be here. So if you'd like to donate and help independent broadcasting, and after watching the BBC again this morning, it's desperately needed. You need different opinions. Feel free. Donate what you can afford. Alternatively, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt and donate anything from a £5 upwards there. Or you can buy me a beer. They're not real beers or real coffees. It's just a metaphor. Okay, John Davis, where are we going next? Yes, all agreed. Disgusting politics from our own parliament, government, PM, MPs, and they're all traitors. Did you read today? Jan got 18 months suspended for calling Starmer in an email. I don't know what you're on about, mate. You mean an email? Who got this? Who's Jan? Whoever. Craig Marson says, yes, Trump is right to call Keir Starmer useless. So does Pierre Walker. Thank you. Does Starmer have a spare bunker buster for number 10? Enough of that. Den Spinks, I'm sorry for seeming so to sound like Starmer's right-hand man, John, but can't Captain Caveman is related to... I give up. Listen, if you're writing a message, it's a long one, slow down and then read it again before you press send, because I'm just reading them as they come in. The fact is that the Muslims are the ones that dislike us, says Tony Foskett. Ooh, Tony, you'll be having your door kicked in tonight by the police with their rainbow laces, the storm troopers. How dare you say something that might be true? Less of that, please. Who won't Sharia law? Why? Who won't Sharia law keep our British law? We shouldn't have any Sharia law in this country. End of. Any news on his Ukrainian chums? Laugh out loud, says David. Well, David, they'll be in court, I believe, in April. The 5 rent boys who are alleged to have set fire to Keir Starmer's, was it his back door or his front? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. And his cars, right? But they're alleged to. It has taken an extraordinary long time to get to court. I don't know why. Do you? Where should we go next? Is Bedfordshire considered East Midlands? I haven't got a clue. No, it isn't. I think Bedfordshire's in. No. Why are you asking that question? Is Matron gone out? Can't you ask her? Why must Starmer get K-Bulk? We have definitely got some of the nutters. Have you all been on the sherry? Why must Starmer involve UK in a war that a madman started? Oh, that's what you're trying to say, Mary. Got you. You're a liberal, so you can't spell and you can't write English. Got you. Why must Starmer, this is what she's written, involve UK in a war that a madman started? A starter. So I think what she's saying is, why must Starmer involve the UK in a war that a madman started? Well, the madman, she obviously means Donald Trump. Right, that's your view. He's a madman, is he? Oh, okay, then. What about the people who are running Iran for the last 40 years? Are they madmen? Killing their own people? What do you reckon? Not allowing women to have any rights? They're not madmen, they're liberals. They're intelligent, Western liberals, aren't they? All men, that's just a coincidence, I guess, in your stupid world, Mary Ann Fulk. And it's an illegal war. Is it? I think there's a lot of debate over that, but thank you very much indeed. David Thompson, he says, in Devon, still good, but not much diversity. Come here. I think that's what you're saying. I'm trying to translate it. John, have you seen the mandatory digital ID for the driving license from January 2027? No, I didn't know it had to be digital by then. I did not know that, but they're trying to force that on us. You know why they're trying to force it on us, don't you? Because they want to be able, that's why they want to give it to any of the flip-flop warriors who turn up. It'll make no difference to how many of them come, but they want it on there so they can put it right across the country. I'm against it. I used to be in favour of ID cards, but then I changed my mind after COVID because I haven't got anything to hide. But why should they know everything about me? No, I'm against it now. Totally against it. Right, let's move on. Darren Tanner, hi John. I used to love your talk shows when it was talk radio. Talk shows, I think that's meant to be. Till they ruined it and called it talk radio. Glad to have found you online. No problem, Darren. I'm here every day. Monday through Thursdays at 6 o'clock in the evening. But because it's YouTube, you can watch it whenever you fancy. Subscribe, it's free, to John Gaunt on TV on YouTube, and then you won't miss any shows. David Hammond says, we love Donald. F off. Laugh out loud. Thank you very much indeed. Well, not according to the polls. According to the polls, people are against what Donald Trump is saying. These are the same people that will complain about us not being able to do enough to help the Ukraine without realizing it's because Russia has nuclear weapons. That's what we're preventing in Iran. Yes, Dixon Gaper, the problem is you're explaining it to people, but they're so thick they can't see it. You're absolutely right. We're trying to stop tyranny. That's what we're trying to do. But what's happened is the usual uber liberals have taken over, basically saying, well, Donald Trump's obviously winning, but what for? What's the plan? I think the plan's pretty obvious. But no, not according to the liberals, because it's Donald Trump. And did you see the BBC have now done the Secretary of State for War, Pete? They've stitched up his speeches as well. They've re-edited his speeches to make him look worse. It's just completely unbelievable. Islamophobia is about to be justified via Keir's clan, John. Does that make sense? I just woke up. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that kind of makes more sense than anything else she said. Hi, us, John. Kathy Smethurst. Hi. Tony Fusco. I saw a post on Facebook that Sharia law in Manchester had 2 Muslims on horseback patrolling the streets and the police did nothing. Yeah, I referred to that in my opening. You're absolutely right. The police just let these Muslim Islamist nutcases ride up and down the street on horses as if they were the bloody police. But it's not the first example of it. When that copper who stopped Jewish people from watching their football team play on false, made-up evidence, before that, there'd been some kind of riot in part of Birmingham, and they'd spoken to the elders, the Muslim elders, and let them sort it out rather than put the police in. 2-tier policing. I'll tell you straight what the problem is in this country. MPs from the Prime Minister down, right through to the police, and most major institutions in this country are scared stiff of Muslims. Now, you might think that's a racist comment. It's not. The theory behind it is extremely racist because they've decided, the liberal, uber-liberal morons, that all Muslims are violent, which, of course, they're not. But that's why they tiptoe around them. And that's what's wrong. The law is the law is the law. No matter who you are, you should be treated the same. Do you agree with me? But it's not like that anymore. We know it's not. We know it's not. And what gets on my tits is it's usually the people who aren't obeying the law who get treated the best. Not the decent silent majority who are paying their taxes, sending their kids to school, got a job, contributing. It's the lazy layabouts. Or as I call them, the flip-flop warriors who think it's perfectly okay to get in a rubber dinghy and come to Britain because they've been told once they get here, they'll get a new phone, they'll get designer clothes, they'll get flip-flops. It's the land of El Dorado. Whereas the French let them sleep in old warehouses. We put them up in 4-star hotels or houses of multiple occupancy. It's all wrong. I'm not saying treat people in a terrible way, but I'm saying, can we have some balance? And now the new idea, of course, as well as having the czar for Islamophobia, is to have a situation whereby these people get a council house when they come. So the risk factor, and 40 grand if they want to go back. So the only risk factor is just that 21-mile journey across the channel, which I've got to tell you, I wouldn't want to do it. When I went across the channel in a ferry, I was seasick, let alone in a bloody rubber dinghy. But you take my point. You're never going to deter people in that way, are you? But Tony, you're right about the guys on horses. Disgraceful. Jeffrey Waddingham, he's not messing about this morning. He says Starmer's a lying, cowardly, Muslim-appeasing traitor. Don't sit on the fence, will you, Jeffrey? But fair point. The law is not the law in the UK. Inside, get away with things, get at all of them. Again, try and write in English. John, can you see the free trip to UK? Get 10 grand free for a holiday in the UK for the world, says Pouncy. Well, that makes a bit more sense. Well, that's exactly right. They fear the Muslims because they know they will act out in violence. Yes, but that's racist, isn't it? Because not every Muslim is going to be violent. But they've assumed that these number of Islamists, the people who want to kill us, the extremists, they tar all Muslims with the same brush. Well, that's more racist than anything I've heard the far right say. It's pathetic, isn't it? It's pathetic. And they know the native population will just sit there and take the abuse. Well, my fear is that they won't for very much longer, and then it will be a powder keg. My fear is it's going to be us or them. No sitting on the fence. Civil war is coming, says Leanne Teal, 7251. You're going to need to harden your heart and learn to treat people differently if you want to solve the problems. You have harsh reality. Is that you talking to me, Dixon Gaper, or are you talking to Starmer? Thank you very much indeed. Me, I'm not even able to pay my rent for 3 months now, and I've not had the heating on in over a year. I rely on food banks for my food. Looks like for life. No chance of ever getting enough money to buy your own food, let alone a house. If that's true, that's a savage indictment of our society, and my thoughts are with you, my friend. My thoughts are with you. Thank you very much indeed for your comment. Right, I'm going to stop. Not one donation, and I think I was pretty good today, but never mind. If you do want to donate, press the little $ and donate whatever you can afford. Or after the show, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt and donate whatever you can afford. I'll be back tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, Monday, if you want to watch the live show. But don't forget, all the archive, all the shows are on my YouTube page. So go there and just find out and look back on the older ones as well. Jackie Ward has just given me 3 red hearts. So that's the end of the show. Thank you for that. I'm off out this afternoon with my daughter. It's my birthday treat. my final treat. She's taking me out for something to eat. So I'm looking forward to that, although I've got to go to Birmingham. But apart from that, that's where I'm going for the rest of the day. I want to say thank you very much indeed for watching. Please keep spreading the word. Don't forget to subscribe to JonGauntTV. And most of all, don't forget to give your kids a kiss, give them a hug, and don't forget to tell them you love them. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye.